Hey guys, welcome back to Firefighters Financial Toolbox. My name is Brad, and I've been using the M1 Finance app for about 2 months now. And I decided that it was time for me to do my personal review of it, tell the things I like, the things I don't like about it. For those of you who don't know what this is, M1 is a free service that allows you to buy and sell ETFs and individual stocks for free, commission free. You can also buy fractional shares, and we'll explain how those work. If you're new to the channel, think about subscribing. It really helps me out. At the end of here, I do have an M1 Finance link down below. If you sign up with my link, you will get $10 credited to your account, and it doesn't cost anything to use. You do not have to use my link, but it is down there. Okay, so let's talk about what I like about it. Now, first of all, fractional shares, you guys. If you're not understanding what fractional shares are, it's ability to buy a company. Now, up until now, I've always bought full shares of individual stocks or ETFs. By that, I mean if an ETF cost was $50, you had to buy a full share or $50. So let's talk about individual stocks. For example, Amazon. Amazon stock is running currently around $1,800. I don't know exactly what it is. I'll put it up here and see. But it's pretty expensive. A lot of us don't have $1,800 to go out and buy even one single share. With fractional shares, I could buy $25 worth of Amazon. Now, it's only going to be a fractional part of a share, but it's a good way for somebody with not a whole lot of money to get started invested. The other thing is I could buy $25 of Amazon. I could buy $25 of Facebook or Google or whatever else we want, and we could put it together. Another thing they have that's nice is they have customization. They actually have some custom portfolios that you can pick and choose, or what they call expert portfolios, that can give you everything you need and take all the brain work out of it. The other thing that's nice is automation. You can set up to have money put in every month, or like I do, I have it put in every Monday. I have $100 transferred from my bank account straight across to the M1. Everything is customizable. It's free investing. And here's the good thing. Now, I understand a lot of you are Robinhood fans. Robinhood has a place. Robinhood, again, you're buying full shares, but you buy them immediately. We're going to talk about the differences with M1 here. The one thing that Robinhood doesn't have, you guys, is it does not have access to a retirement account. There's no option to do a Roth IRA. You can't roll over an old 401k. You can't roll over any of your other workplace plans to it. All they have is an individual brokerage account. Now, with M1, you do have an individual brokerage account. You can do a joint brokerage account. You can do any kind of retirement plan you want, IRA, or you can even set up a trust. Now, I have not done any of the trusts, so I'm going to take it with what that is. Now, the way M1 works is they have the pie. And what the pie is a pie is just a way to show you a little pie-shaped chart that shows each of the holdings that you have in your account. So now we're going to go into M1 Finance, and we're going to go into my account. So let's go into the invest page. Okay, now remember, I've only had this account going for less than 2 months, and I've been putting in a little bit each time. I currently have 9 individual stock holdings, and I have a total value of $1,269. So it's small but growing. The nice thing is, as you see, it will say, okay, I have McDonald's, and that's my biggest share, and that looks like about 26.4%. And then I have Walgreens, 3M, Walmart, Waste Management, Archer's Daniels Midland, and I have a small chunk of LVS, which is the Las Vegas Sand Corps. I do have 2 that I have not bought yet that I've added. I'm going to add probably on Monday. And that's Aqua America and National Fuel Gas. Now, I'm not here to talk about my holdings. Let's talk about what it does. So first of all, let's look at activity. The activity bar is pretty neat. It shows everything you see. Now, this is a new account, and I have not got any dividends yet. I've only had deposits and trading. Now, one thing to remember about trading. This uses a 1 hour or hour and a half trading window once a day. and that is at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. And it buys all of your stuff at that time. So if you want to be a day trader or a swing trader, or you're buying and selling stocks, this probably isn't the app for you. This fits in line with my methodology, which is buy and hold investing. Activity type. So we can come down here and we can adjust it. So if we wanted to see, let's say, let's go. Take that out. So that will show our deposits. And let's see, we have had no dividends. So when I click that, it doesn't add anything. In the trading, you see each time it buys. Now, you can adjust your percentages on this to what you want. What it will do is it will buy to try to get it to whatever your portfolio percentage is. What I mean by that is, if we hit the edit button here, you'll see that I have McDonald's at 29%. I'm currently at about 26%, so it's going to buy a little bit more this week, and I'm doing that because McDonald's stock is down. Now, LVS, I actually have about 6%, but I don't want to buy any more for a while, so I've lowered the percentage down. Your total has to be 100%. And what it will do is it will try to get those numbers as close to the percentages that you want. Now, the nice thing about that is by doing that, you do not have to worry about rebalancing. If you do rebalance, you guys, here's something to remember. If you rebalance, they will sell your stocks and you will be taxed on those sells. So the best way to do, if you don't want to buy anymore, is simply adjust down that target. As you can see here, on LVS, I've got 5.9% or 6%, but I've got it set at 1. So it's not going to buy any more of those. It's going to buy some waste management because I'm about 3% under on that. It's going to buy some McDonald's because I'm about 2.5% under on that one. It's going to buy a little Walmart because I'm about 2% low there. And then it's going to buy the two that have 0 in their balance that want to get up to 5%. By doing that, you can adjust once a week or however you need to keep your percentages on track without creating any taxable events, and that's important. So let's talk about the holdings, and let's look at a couple of things. So as I said, I have 7 holdings now, but I'm waiting to have 2 more. Gives you a quick example. It shows you your average price, the cost basis that you have in, and then the value that you have. So for example, McDonald's, I've spent $350 on it, and my value is at $315. So that one's lost a little bit. Everything goes up and down. Funding history can show you how much you've put in on your bank connection. It's going to show that you have a bank connected. Really quick. So this is kind of neat. Once you get your bank set up, you guys, and setting this up is pretty easy. I'm no genius. It walks you right through it. Make sure you're going to have that bank account that you're going to hook it up to. Make sure you have the routing number and that kind of stuff because they're going to need that. All right. So as you can see, it shows my bank doing a weekly transfer, the last one being last Monday, for $100. Now, let's say that I wanted to do an extra one. I could come in here and put in an extra by clicking on the Move Money. I could pick one-time transfer, select my bank, click here, right? Select the account that I want it to go into. Continue there. Oh, and then I just simply put in an amount that I wanted to, and it would transfer it. Research. Now, this has got some cool tools. Now, it's got lots of stories you can read. I don't really insight. It does show you a quick. Does show you quickly the markets. It looks like the S&P is down 0.25%. Dow Jones is down about 0.5%. Excuse me, 0.5%, and the Nasdaq's pretty flat. So if you want to look into individual stocks, you click on that. And let's say we want to look into Apple stock, for example, because it's there. It'll give you the price of the stock, how it's been doing. We can look at the 1 day. We can look at 3 months. We can see how it's been doing over time. We come down, can get some information on the company, how many they hold, where it's held, all that stuff. And I can add it to a watch list, or I can add it to my portfolio. Now let's talk about funds. Nice thing about funds is if you're not into doing individual stock buying, and it's not for everybody, you guys. If you don't take your time to actually do homework on individual stocks, you're better off using an ETF. And by using the ETF, you could say, I want to have the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, for example. Breaks down, and we can actually go down here, and we see that our top two holdings for that are Microsoft and Apple. It is 98% US stocks, so a tiny bit of cash, and it looks like maybe 1%. But for buying this, you're getting 3,600 holdings, you guys. It's a blend of all the stock market. You have large cap, you have mid cap, you have small cap, and a nice low expense ratio of 0.03% or $3 on 10,000. So very, very inexpensive. And in here, you'll see they have funds for stocks. They have bond funds. They have different sector funds if you're into that kind of stuff, all kinds of stuff. Now let's take a look at the expert pies. Now let's say that you don't know enough about this stuff and you just want to get investing, but you want to be diversified. And let's say, for example, you're a 20-year-old because you're being really proactive and you're going to get investing young. So you'll see the first thing we have down here is you can go into the general investing tab, and based on your risk tolerance, you can pick a fund that's already got everything you need. So let's say we are the 20-year-old. So we have a long time, you guys. We have 45 years before retirement. Let's look at the ultra aggressive, for example. We scroll down. We notice there's 7 slices in the pie. 34% international, 29% in the American S&P 500, 13% in small caps, 9% in mid caps, 7% in emerging markets. You've got 7% in REIT index. For those of you who don't know what REITs are real estate investment trust. So you're getting some real estate in the form of stock market. And it's got a little 1% chunk of total international bond ETF. This is primarily a full tilt stock portfolio. Now, what if you're not so aggressive? Let's say you're a little more timid. You might, even though you're young, you might say, hey, I'm not willing to have that much volatility. So you could pick either a moderate or a moderately aggressive. Now let's go back into these expert pies. And let's say, for example, that you are a big fan of Warren Buffett. I am myself. The guy is amazing. You can actually pick the Berkshire Hathaway funds. They have a portfolio that has exactly the breakdown that Warren Buffett uses in his Berkshire Hathaway holdings. And by doing this, you can just add this to your portfolio and it's automatically going to have you in all of these stocks. Now, that might be something that you're interested in. There's some other management companies in here that have the same sort of thing. What if you just want stocks and bonds? And you say, oh, I want to be 90% stocks, 10% bonds. They have a portfolio for that, and it breaks it down into the Vanguard Total World Stock Index, which is both United States stocks and international stocks, and the Vanguard Total Bond Market Index. So you get your whole portfolio in 2 simple funds at a low cost. And you can adjust it by your asset allocation. Obviously, 90-10 being fairly aggressive, 50-50 being half stocks, half bonds. The last thing I wanted to click on and show you is the watch list. Now, my watch list, the way I use this is because I have 3 separate taxable brokerage accounts. I like to have all of mine in each one. So by looking at my watch list, I can look at my other stocks that I have out there and how they're doing without going back into my other Vanguard account or my Ally Invest account. Makes it really easy to do this. You guys, it's a very good platform. As I said, if there's any cons that I've found, it takes a little bit to learn how to manipulate the pies, but you can figure that out. The biggest con being if you see a big drop in a stock and you want to buy it, remember it's not going to buy it until tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. So that stock could go down and then go back up before you buy it. So remember, it has a window once a day that it buys all of your sells. It does not happen immediately like in a normal brokerage account. but you also don't have to pay for it. The biggest pro is the fractional shares, you guys. I didn't understand before what the big deal about this was, but now that I've actually been using this platform, I gotta say I'm a big, huge fan, because the biggest problem with having to buy full shares is if I want to buy a stock of McDonald's, for example, and let's take a look at McDonald's. Currently, McDonald's is $196.70 per share. I would have to pony up $197 to buy one single share. With this, I can see that it's down a little bit. I can put $10 into partial shares, and that way I can keep buying it every week. By putting $100 or however much you put in each week, it's going to buy those, and it's a great way to dollar cost average. And now that I've experienced it, I've pretty much gone to buying all my new individual stocks here. It's a really good platform. So anyway, what do you guys think? Have you had good experience with M1? Do you like it? Are there things you hate about it? Certainly is not perfect for everyone, but I don't think any platform is. I think it's a good platform. It's relatively easy to figure out after a little bit of playing around. And I give it a thumbs up. Anyway, I hope you guys got something out of this. Remember, if you want, I have a link below for M1 Finance. You do not have to use the link, but if you do, you will get $10 once you fund the account. You will get a $10 credit for free. It gives me a little credit as well. I have to put that disclaimer in there. You do not have to use my link, but if you do, I appreciate it. It helps the channel out. Also, if you're not subscribed, you guys, please subscribe. We're over 150 right now. I think we're 165 subscribers, and I'm stoked about it. As long as you guys keep watching, I'm going to keep making episodes. All right, we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.